Bring your chair. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me now? Please let me know if you guys can hear me. I unplugged the mic. Yay! So you can hear me now. I unplugged my blue snowball and plugged it back in. I don't know. It got knocked over one time by the cats, and now it's particular. So hi to Nettie and Vicky and Michi. Is it Michi or Michi? And Pam. So everybody's talking about their 2024. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What's your word? Well, I'm giving myself the word finish is my word for 2024. And tomorrow I'm going to go in the back where I have my excessive stash beyond what's here. I still have this pile of stuff right here, and I'm going to go through it and pull out the stuff that's not actually started. I want to focus on the things. You need to bring your chair, my love. Things that I have started, like I've got the little orange dress with the butterflies for the little girl. I want to finish that. It really doesn't need a lot to finish. I got the other 2 little dresses that I started that I had the skirt fiasco. Those are in there. And I have that blue dress that's on top. So I've got, in my mind, I have 3 focus groups. And those will be what I work on my channel for 95% of the time. Now, the other 5%, I'm going to leave open for like palette cleansers, or I need a break from sewing, crocheting, and quilting. And those will be my art things. So when I need a little bit of a break from the sewing, the quilting, and the crocheting, then you'll see me pop up with an art journal page or a prompt game or something like that. So tomorrow I will do a video of everything I find. So it'll be, as I'm going along, I'm going to have a page on my little notebook. I'm going to have one labeled sewing, one crocheting, and one quilting. And I'm just going to make a list of those. Here comes Scott. He has to bring his own chair because I don't have a second chair in here right now. I left my broken chair in the front room at the computer desk.
That's Howard's chair.
That's Howard's chair anyway, the broken one. It just doesn't roll. So hi, Shannon and Ray D and Vicky. Like Michigan. Michi. Okay. Gotcha.
Your little friend Elizabeth used to call it Michigan.
Michigan. Yes,
Michigan.
She did. Yes, she did. And who else did I see? Mary Lou. Hi, Mary Lou. How are you, Mary Lou? Yep, I'm giving myself some accountability. And somewhere we have a dry erase board that if you're not using it, I was going to utilize it.
I have photographed the circuit that's on there, so you may use it.
Oh, you photographed it?
Yeah.
Well, there's that table. I could turn it into a dry erase that behind that door over there. It's like a little bed in the bed table that you had gotten for projects or something at the thrift store.
Oh yeah.
I could use that, but
I don't know why I got that.
Okay, well, I'll use it then. But I'm going to create a board and hang it up over here behind us. So as I complete something, I can wipe it off and it'll be a visual that you guys can see behind me and kind of help me stay on track. I wore my Cardi shawl out today and I got a very nice compliment from a young woman at World Market. She said, "Oh, did you make that?" I said, "I did." And she's like, "Oh, it's beautiful." So if you haven't made a Cardi shawl that Just Vintage Crochet has put up, it's fun to make and it's easy to wear. A vision board of sorts. Because it's going to be all these projects that I have started. Like I know I've got baby sweaters. I've got 2 of those started that I can remember. One's all white and one just needs buttons. That's all it needs. I could actually send that to Kayla for her new baby.
Yeah.
Because it's for a little boy. It's in there. But I've got quilt tops, and between Scott and I, we're going to try to figure out how to use those hand quilting frames that we picked up for $6 and
Well, almost $5.
yeah, they weren't expensive at all, but they're big wooden frames. And I have one that's kind of partially put together that I kept the components together, and some things are no, it's all in the hall closet. So I can just pull it out, put the 2 bars back in, and it's ready to go. So that is my plan. So tomorrow I will show you guys at some point what all I come up with as far as this list of things to finish.
Finish.
Finish
That's
is
your
going to be
word?
my word for 2024 is to finish. So what's everybody else up to?
I think my word's gonna be half baked. I'm gonna do
You're going to
more.
be half baked.
I'm gonna start more half baked projects and abandon them.
I'll make you a list of things to finish.
Sure you can.
The bathroom. What else?
Yeah. I gotta teach.
Yeah, I know. You got to teach. He starts back teaching. So he's got his day job and his night job. And when it comes to the teaching, I think it's a lot more than you thought it was going to be sometimes.
I gotta find a new job.
And Greg's got to find a new job.
Yeah, my word's half baked.
Mary Lou says she's half baked. Yep, a honeydew list, Nettie says. And Vicky says she's got yarn for 3 Afghans, some baby hats, and a baby sweater. I've been working, I have like this one tub that's nothing but like the kitchen cottons. So I'm working on creating sets of 3. And that's what I've been doing this weekend. So I've got this one that's navy and white. And this one's red and navy. I was going to say red and white, obviously not white. And then this one is really, this lighter color is kind of a baby peach. And I love Tunisian crochet. I love it. And what I do is these are going to be washed because I do have cats. And I always wash when I'm going to give it as a gift, because I don't want anybody getting sick or anything from allergens from the cats. So I have this allergy removing laundry soap I put my handmade stuff through. And I'm going to put these together, and that's going to be ready for gift giving.
You're not sending the gift of hair?
No, I'm not going to send the gift of hair.
Okay.
And I'll probably make more hats. You can see that Mylar blanket. Greg bought a huge plastic tub for the neighbor cats that can't get in. They kind of kicked all these cats outside. So we got this big tub and we put cedar bedding in it. And Scott cut a nice hole in the end of it. And somehow water still got inside it. But you're supposed to line it with the Mylar blankets to help reflect their body heat. So we've got to think about a way to cover that door opening in some way. You know, like give it a little porch roof or something. I don't know. We'll think of something. Because the cedar shavings are soaking wet. Hi, Barbara.
They're not too wet in the back.
They're not too wet in the back, but cats aren't going to walk across that wet stuff. That's why I'm thinking I got to come up with some way to keep the water out of there. It's Barbara. And Mary Lou says as she's been unpacking, she found a bunch of works in progress. I have a bunch of quilt tops that I really want to get made into quilts for us, just to have. Plus, it's nice to have like baby quilts on hand, just in case somebody comes into your life and you need a baby gift. Hi, Linda. And we went and priced toaster ovens, which apparently the toaster ovens come as air fryers too now. So I don't know, can you get just a toaster oven, or is it all going to be with air fryers? We've got to do some more research. Our toaster oven that we had, I was wondering, why isn't this thing toasting? It wouldn't toast anything. I'd keep resetting it. And Scott finally, he looked up in it and he said, have you seen the rods in the top of it? They were like, instead of being straight, they were like this, curved in the top of the toaster oven. Catio, hang on, Catio. Come on, Callie, come on. That way I don't have to get up twice. If you'll both just come on. So that's on our list of need to replace the toaster oven. Oh, before that, before we went and priced the toaster oven, we got in the car and it wouldn't start. It made no noise. Every time he turned the key, no lights, nothing. So we went to Ollie's and World Market and we got the coffee at World Market. And that's where I ran into the girl that enjoyed my party shawl. And then we went to Ollie's to price those. And when we got back, Scott got his meter and he was going to go out and find out what was going on. And the battery in the Buick Lucerne is under the back seat. So he popped the back seat loose and the lights all came back on in the car and the car started right back up. So this car, I'm telling you guys, if we had a bunch of money come in, that would be like the first thing I think we'd do is get rid of this car and get you something else. The next vehicle we've decided needs to be something that sits up higher. We have loved our sedans, but he's having so much trouble getting in and out of something that sits that low. So we're going to look at SUVs. You were looking at the CR whatevers, right?
I'm looking at a lot of stuff.
He's looking at a lot of stuff.
I was looking at some Lexus RX series.
Barbara says the car is possessed.
Yeah, there's nothing loose on
it. We just don't know what was going on. I mean, it made no clicking, no lights. It's like we just got in a car at the junkyard and it just wouldn't come on.
Wouldn't come on.
So, has everybody put your Christmas decorations away? I missed one candle holder right there, and then my Christmas card albums. That is something that's going to be done this next week. Is my 2023 Christmas card album. So I'll be putting that together this next week. But I also want to start on these sewing, crocheting, and quilting projects. So I will have to do like maybe for the sewing projects, I'll do hashtag Friday sews. So I'll just be part of that on Fridays with anything I've done that's sewing. I know Shannon, Art Junkie, does crocheting on Fridays, sometimes Wednesdays too. But I might do my crocheting update kind of video on Mondays for me. I might do sewing on Fridays. And then do crocheting updates if I have any on Mondays. And then quilting, I'll do probably maybe Thursdays. Wednesdays is usually my day to do something with you guys. So if there's a live, impromptu live or a video on any of those subjects, they'll be Monday, Thursday, Fridays. I think that's how I'll do it. I need to look around and see if there is, like we have hashtag Friday sews that Janet today in Jen's sewing room came up with. I wonder if there's like a weekly update for the quilters and the crocheters. And if there isn't, should we come up with one so that we can attach those hashtags so everybody can see what everybody's up to? What do you guys think? Hi, Gail. Once I get a bunch of these projects caught up, I would also like to add in cross stitch. I find I can only do cross stitch for a little while because my vision is getting worse and worse. You do a Tuesday show and share for the crochet. So I'll change. If we do it on Tuesday, Shannon, we should come up with a hashtag so that anybody that wants to share their stitching would be cool. Gail says she can't do the cross stitch anymore unless it's a stamped cross stitch. Shannon, I'll get with you and we'll come up with a hashtag for the crocheting updates for Tuesdays. I think that's a great idea. Hashtag. We'll come up with something. I might look around and see what's out there so that we don't step on anybody's toes and our videos are easier to find and they don't get lost, in hashtag jungle. Howard.
It's Tippy. He's fixing to make a mess with the water.
Tippy. What? He says what?
He stopped.
I know. He's like, that's my name. Stop it. I'll look around and see what the hashtags are for crochet. We got to come up with something clever that would help us share our crochet projects, because I know a lot of the crocheters would like to share.
Well, I like my hats.
Scott, he could do a hat report.
Hat model.
He'll be my hat model. Nettie says, be good, Tippy. I think the problem is the dog was just in and she ate her dinner and stuck her tongue in the cat's water. So now the cat is ticked off. So he's pulling the water dish out. And that little scamp, Nettie, let me tell you, he has learned that he can get, if he hits it just right,
gets it to oscillate back.
Oscillating the water, it will just dump water out. And I've about fallen a couple times where I didn't see the water on the floor. And he's gotten it to where it just dumped. It's one of those perpetual waterers where it
automatic water.
It lets down when the level drops. He's such a stinker.
He's the sweetest little cat. He got under the covers this morning because he was cold.
He does get cold. I think he was the runt of the litter. And that's why he hung with the mama cat the longest. Callie's sitting in judgment here.
Or he gets between us and he goes
and pats Scott. It's so funny.
And purrs like, I love you.
Yeah. And then if you guys didn't see it, Howard was egging it up with Scott today.
He's such a goofball.
Mountain Time Mercantile. Welcome. I don't think I've been to your channel yet. I'll have to check you out. Yes, the streamathon starts in the morning at 6 a.m. And now, is that starting with Miriam and then Mary? I haven't looked at the schedule too close because I'm going to try to catch some of it, but we're going to be in and out because we have to visit Scott's mom tomorrow. And I'm going to pick collards that we planted in her backyard. I'm going to pick some of the larger leaves. And I'm going to cook the collards and the pork tenderloin, which I need to pull that out of the freezer. And
let's don't forget that.
Yeah, we need to do it. It's in a bag in there because it's got the... it's not fat back, but it's a salt pork strips to put in with the collards. And I'm going to do creamed potatoes so that we have something else besides the
Come
the
on.
traditional pork, greens, and peas. There's a whole thing. What is the saying? It's a
So if you eat a lot of greens to bring in the new year, you'll have plenty of greenbacks.
greenbacks. You'll have plenty of money.
And if you eat lots of peas, you'll have lots of change. Have lots of coins.
And the pork is
Just delicious.
no. It's a pork belly. It's There's this. I can't remember the whole thing.
There's something about living off the fat of the land.
I don't know. There's a whole southern thing. I had to learn all this when I moved here, because in New York we didn't do this at all.
Well, collards are a cold, hardy green. They actually become tender and somewhat sweet after they've had frost on them.
Yes, that's why I said let's wait till Sunday to pick them.
And they've had frost on them this year, so that's good.
Yeah, they'll be delicious.
And I really don't like the way most people fix them. I like the way we fix them. We fold that leaf in half and pull that stem out of it, that vein, and then there's no more that
woody bits. I don't like when the stem has not been removed. I hate those.
And it's a bitter green. Not quite as bitter as mustard greens, but
yeah,
it's nice with a little hot sauce on it. Pairs well with pork.
Your mother knows the whole. She's a Southern girl. She knows the whole saying about it.
Yeah, she's a Southern girl.
Yeah.
Let me pull that out of the freezer.
Yeah, I left them in the grocery bag, so if you just pull it out, and then it'll be in the fridge overnight till New Year's. And I'll just cook it in the oven.
Salt pork. Yeah, it looks like strip of leaf.
That's right. That's our Nettie's birthday is tomorrow. Whoop, 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 whoop. Gail said the only thing that she would like to eat out of that whole meal would be the peas.
Good old black-eyed peas. There's the cornbread, too.
Oh, we'll have to ask Mother if she wants to do that, because, yeah, good luck finding a place for it. It's kind of a Jenga situation in that refrigerator right now. Go ahead and pull the pot roast out, and I will cut it up, or you got it?
I got it.
Okay. I'll leave you alone. I'll step away from the fridge. That's the bad part about my room. Now being here, I can see what you're doing in the kitchen. Hey, now. Yeah, I'm going to ask her.
You'll set me on the naughty chair now?
Yeah. Put you outside. Yeah, cornbread. I'm going to see if Julia wants to make that. That's Scott's mother. I'm trying to take all these tasks off from her. She's 96, you guys, and she still wants to do it all, but sometimes she forgets ingredients. So I'm trying to prepare this Southern dinner with my New York brain, and we'll see how I do. Yeah, she's bless her. She still wants to do, but she forgets things as she's going along. And yeah, I tried to look it up, but it gave me like.
Who just wants to know who I want to call?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not finding a match in your contacts.
Bet you're not.
That's you're a moron.
Traditional Southern New Year's meal. Yes.
Barbara says they say we shouldn't snack during the night, but if that's right, then explain why the light comes on every time I open the fridge door. Your family's never done anything special for New Year's? Wealth, health, and luck. Yeah, I think that's basically the gist of it. But it's something about you'll have more money if you eat this particular meal of the greens and the beans and the pork. It's just I don't know. You have ham instead of the pork. Yeah. So Vicky knows. Vicky knows what I'm talking about. And I agree. The cornbread, I think, would be better than biscuits with that particular meal because I like to take a piece of cornbread and cut it and then put my black-eyed peas on top of it with a little juice.
Put that pot liquor from those peas on it.
That's right. That's right. So, anybody else have any plans for New Year's? I'm seeing some people don't do this. This particular meal. There goes the door.
Howard, get out of the cabinet.
Howard, get out of the cabinets. He'll walk on to this side. The other day when we were doing craft and chat, I heard the cabinets. I walked out there and he had 3 of them open. He's learned the little cabinet next to the dishwasher where the dish detergent is. He's learned how to open that one too. So he opens the big door that's across adjacent to it, and then he opens that door, and then he comes over and he gets this door here on this side on the bottom. One day I went in there and he was on the counter and he had one of the upper cabinets open. So you're not supposed to know how to do that.
He's making sure you got everything you need. Bye.
Mountain Time Mercantile. I'll have to look them up. And Mary Lou says they're doing a surf and turf tomorrow for dinner.
I like that.
We like to do turf and turf too with chicken and steak. We've done that before. We did that when Scott used to be an engineer, and we'd have all the engineers that were visiting from Boston. When Scott worked at Bose, we'd have them over and we'd do turf and turf so that they could choose whether they wanted chicken or steak. And then we'd have like potatoes or something like that.
I really enjoyed working for Bose.
Oh, it could be. That's right. It is Carol. Sorry, Carol. I'm a dork. I am not used to that new name for Carol. Anyway. Oh no, you lost the yarn chicken. She had 8 stitches left and she doesn't have any more yarn. I hate when that happens. When you run out. What else do I have to talk about? What else do we want to talk about? He's finished with his bookshelf.
Yeah.
But it's not a bookshelf. It's a parts cabinet.
I need to bring it in.
Maybe we can do that tomorrow. We'll find where we need to go with it. I'm trying to think. Think. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, that's Carol. I am not used to the new name. Yes, it does, because then you've got to try to weave in the tails from not only finishing up, but then your join as well. Because, yeah, they're right next to each other. Carol is now the Mountain Time Mercantile. I forgot she did another name change. I still think of her as the Magical Cauldron. Carol is always morphing. Yes. Weaving in all those ends. Well, let me show you this hat I made. Scott, you want to be a hat model? I haven't washed this one yet. But this was made from when we went thrifting one time. There was these bags, and they were just like the ends of somebody's project, just a whole bunch of little balls. And that's what I made this. This is gray, white, and black. There you go. Hat Man. Yes, Canadian Carol. Ta-da! Yep. Probably getting warm.
It sticks to my hair stubble like Velcro.
I know. I was trying to put it on your head and it was like sticking, and I was like, you need to shave your head again.
Yeah. Well, it's bald in the middle.
It is bald in the middle, but when you try to go down
on the
here,
sides, a little bit on the sides.
Yeah. So I like to do the hats, and I just make them up as I go along. I don't follow a pattern. I just make these up. Any stitch I've learned might end up in here, especially if it's something I've recently learned. It's like I want to use it everywhere so I can remember it. So that'll go back there. It needs to be washed too. But I don't want to keep you guys. I know Beth's on and all. What?
I bet all that ham salad's gone.
Yeah, it went a few days ago. Greg likes to eat it with chips. You hungry? We are so messed up right now because we slept till 11. So we had a late breakfast and then we had a late lunch and we haven't had dinner yet, and we don't usually eat this late.
I got up about 9:30.
I didn't. It was about 11, I think, when I finally woke up. Maybe 10:30, 11.
Well, I had a rough night. My knees hurt.
Yeah, his knees are. He needs to have them fixed.
Probably need to lose about 50 pounds.
Yeah, that would probably help too. We both need to lose about 50 pounds or more. But food is so good, and I like to cook it. Oh my goodness. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. And I did finish our Dirty Dozen cards, and during Craft and Chat, I put some of my Wild Girls on them. Scott's leaving the room. And I used some of those dictionary cards and just attached one. Just show these to you real quick. These need to be clear coated, and then they'll be sent out in Happy Mail. And I was going to do another video. I left one after the doodle. I left this one so I could add another girl to it. And there. And they're just my weird little gals that I think going through the mail, they probably make people laugh and smile. So, and 3.5 by 5 is a really good size for postcards. All right, guys, I will let you go. Really, 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 really Happy New Year to everybody if I'm not on tomorrow. Bye.